Chat, what is up? Hello, I'm sorry I'm a little late, but it's so worth it. Good to see you, Fibavell Penguins, Ludsy, Pace, someone else. What's good, what's good, what's good? Hey, what is this chicken walk thing? Let's figure it out now so you guys don't ruin the whole show, right? That'd be great. What is it? I don't know what it is. I don't know what Tusk is. I don't know why you've been spamming for a million hours, but I would love to hear about it. I'd love to do it. BB, Vash, what's up? Beginning. Good to see you. Fire Flum. This Pop-Tart, thank you for the 8 months. Marty Mott, thank you for the tier 1. Give the Architect, thank you for the 2 months. Sorry I'm a little late today, but again, busy day. Busy day. Couple things I want to update on, actually. Pretty cool things. Redaptive, thank you for the what is this? You gave me a $1 and you gave me an Imgur link. Oh. Okay. Oh, I figured it out. Thank you for getting me to the bottom of this. Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys want to know what this spamming is all about, it is this. Somebody in offline chat redeemed the Watch Community Reward for, is that 5 million channel points? Where's Matt? And it caused, you know, quite a ruckus apparently. And so, as a man of my word, of course, we will watch an episode of, I have to pick a time to do it. I don't know exactly when, but we'll do it. I'll watch episode 6 or season 6 episode 1 for sure. Shout out to Tusk Act 4 for saving up an absolutely let me look at his chat history. What kind of person saves up 5 million channel points? User Tusk Act 4. Okay, well, he's the kind of person that spams chicken walk. We will march dawn till dusk until Big A pows to Tusk. Definitely is cheering for his own situation here. A lot of that. Hundreds of those. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, we'll be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I think that's a Martin Luther King Jr. quote. I'm pretty sure he just stole that verbatim from Martin Luther King Jr. Not exactly a Tusk original. Chicken walk, a million of those. Yeah, a lot of that. Points were spent, chat. Whatever happens to me, we've already won. No, that's not how it works. I have acquired 5 million Atria coin through legitimate capitalism-based means. Okay. I think he's just been gambling. I mean, this feels all, I think people have been tossing him legitimate money through gambling. This all feels coordinated. Read through his chat. I feel like Ludsy might be involved. This whole thing feels like insider trading of some sort. We need a full investigation. I'll put my best and brightest on it. But we will watch Community. I actually been wanting to. I think tonight is still House though. But we'll see. Maybe I can do it. The thing is, I don't have 6 ready to hate this whole thing. It's already starting late. We will start marketing Monday here in a very short amount of time. Let's say 8:45. All right, a little bit of time for warm up. I just want to see what everybody's doing. I had a couple things I wanted to show you guys that were not marketing related, so let's find those real quick so that I can. One of them was that fucking bars. That intro, dude. Pete and Boz gangster shit. Just 2 old dudes dropping bars. It was incredible. I saw like a clip of it on TikTok or something. And I was like, wait a minute, that was actually kind of heat. So I found it, and it's like they're incredible. These guys these are just pure heat. What was the one line that really was like? What was it?
Style of it, you know it costs a lot of money, but I made of it. Got a Chevy Lamborghini and a Mustang, sell it. Ride it with me, baby, take a pic. I'm a rider, drop an Eddie and I'll drag him in his eye there. Run up on him, then I'll clock and knock his eyes there. Didn't see it coming till I pull his eyes out.
Didn't see it coming till I pull his eyes out. I thought that shit was heat, dude. And they're just 2 guys that are like 98-year-old British dudes. That shows anything's possible. The Northern boys are the same. I don't know the Northern boys. Yeah, I'm learning it all. I just see your generation represented. Exactly. Yes. I was like, wait, is there any other fellow 90 octogenarians that can rap? Sindhu Shesh is fire. I've only heard that one song. This is all very new to me. I just thought I'd play it because it was fucking heat. Big A, you need to see this. It's important. What is it? Anything important? Let's. Hey. Excuse me? What is this? Is it... Wait. What the fuck is this?
Hey, Edward Glizzy Todd here. Sorry to hear you were diagnosed with cancer. You know, it's funny. You remind me of this old guy named Pierce I used to go to school with. He was like 130 years old. The only difference is you're broke. Yeah, actually, you're...
Oh no, this is like the worst. It's like a character I like. And he's calling me, oh no, he's calling me broke.
Or chat kind of reminds me of his study group that just constantly made fun of him. Anyways, I hope you recover soon, Mr. Coffee Cow. I hear you're in good hands with Mr.
Todd, your time is worth more than this. You're a celebrated actor. That was a great episode. Todd, I don't care what they paid you. It's not worth it. Y'all interrupted. Let me go on to streamer mode again. Oh, God, dude. 2 great roles. Jesus Christ. I hope you recover soon, Mr. Coffee from Todd. Let me go back into streamer mode. 1 fucking second, all right? Jeez Louise. Streamer mode. Here it is. Let me forget. Are we on the left? Actually, a great question. But you guys on the right. It doesn't make sense. First of all, you guys are all extremely right-wing, so you should be on the right of the screen. And then secondly, that's where my face is right here, so...
Mouse MD, although at your age, even he might not be able to pull it off.
Why? I will pay you double. You're not watching. Fortunately, I doubt he's watching, even though he knew all the memes. Of course, he wrote those himself. He's obviously a viewer. I'll pay you double. Not 20 of you in chat is Todd, because he's obviously a big viewer. It almost looks like Ace Rock is sitting, but you can tell by looking at the camera that he's on his tippy toes. Yeah, I'm actually jumping right now. I'm on a trampoline to try and get up to the camera. We are all Toad. I can't even spell Todd. Bro, I doubt you're Todd. You can't spell it. You spell Toad. Diggity damn it, dude. Holy fuck. Is that from Schmeckeldorp? I'll watch it one time just because I like it.
Hey, Edward Glizzy Hands, Todd.
It's so ridiculous. It's just him getting, like, you should feel bad, Todd, for doing this. Nobody could pay you enough to say, hey, Edward Glizzy Hands, Todd here. You're kidding. Big A's favorite flannel. Thank you for the 5 gifted. This is my favorite flannel. Interesting. What's weird is this is the shirt from Community. So it's all connected. It's all connected. There's a whole expanded universe here. Did someone minus 80? Did I miss that? No, I don't. There's no 80. What are you talking about? Percosaurus. What an incredible name. Thank you for the 4 months. Chillin'. Thank you for the 18 months. Koi Cadaver, thank you for the 8. Chai T for the 8. Let me read all these subs, because once I do Marketing Monday, I can't read the subs. So Quasar Face, thank you for the 30 months. I appreciate it. Jackwad, thank you for the 4. Unfindable with the 23. Comedic Toast. Why do you guys keep saying minus 80? There was no minus 80. I just checked. It cost 80 for that Todd message? Bro, Schmeckeldorp, there must be a better use of $80 than to get Todd from Community to say Edward Glizzy Hands. That's just you know what I'm saying? I think Jerome Powell needs to raise interest rates. I think he needs to squeeze the economy harder. And the problem is there's too much fucking money floating around if people can do this. If people can throw away $80, we are not at where we need to be as an economy. There's too much stimulus. Is my audio clipping? I would hope not. Is my audio clipping? Testing. Loud, soft, loud, soft. I don't think it's equipping. No, I think it's fine. Bro, you're smoking. He's listening on a fucking, I don't know, Nokia with the sound cranked them out. He's listening on a fucking PlayStation controller. He is playing the stream out of his controller audio and wondering why it's fucking clipping. Can you thank me for my sub? I'm not subbed. I can't. Hopeless situation. Thank you for the 7 months. Ben Dystraw, thank you for the tier 1. Not Arid. Thank you for the 24 months. 2 years Poggies. This means we are officially good friends. Thank you for being my friend, Landon. My name is Brandon. 2 years of sub doesn't necessarily mean we're officially good friends, though I appreciate your support. And that's about it. That covers it. Like brothers. No, yeah, we're more like brothers. You're right. Broctodon, thank you for the 20 months. Alex Dip, thank you for the prime. Naruto, 789. Thank you for the 9 months. What goes into someone's thought process when they decide to name themselves online Naruto 78978? You know what I'm saying? What are you trying to project the world? Do you think that could find some Aatrox just jealous? Yeah. No, I wish my brand was Naruto 789. I wish this was my YouTube channel and my Twitch name. Naruto 789 was already taken. Good answer. No, good answer. That makes sense. Good answer. Have you watched The Wire? Of course I have. One of my favorite shows. Peon Me. Thank you for the $5. Love your name. Very clever. Excite. Thank you for the 9 months. Spicy Bread. Thank you for the 33 months. 33. Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you all for the subs. Trotter. Thank you for the 10 months. Today is Marketing Monday, wins and fails. We'll go into it in just a minute. We'll start right now, but just getting a couple things out of the way. Is there anything I wanted to bring up? Any news I wanted to cover before I jump in? There's a couple things that didn't make wins and fails that I could mention. Like, for example, like 6 out of 7 games played in Russia is pirated. Ever since the war in Ukraine, I didn't really find a way to like wins and failsify this, but I just found this very interesting article, which is basically that since the games industry has been like blocking sales to Russia, they're just all, I mean, there's 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 players in the country are pirating. And the 7th is CSGO. That was interesting. Anything else? What else did I want to mention to you? Oh, this is so good. Wait, dude. Okay, so check this out. I went over into Linkus's chat recently, a couple days after I raided him, and he told me this. I got a clip of it for you.
They do. So
I subbed, and he said, "Oh, thanks for the sub, Aatrox. Miss you, man. Hey, did you remember what your chat did when you raided me? Like, did you see that?" And I was like, "No. What did they do?" And so he said, "This is what he responds."
what did they do? So I'm guessing you know the meme because I didn't. About like the glizzy hands. So basically, Chad was telling me about how you have glizzy hands and that it's a form of cancer. And I didn't know what that meant. So when Chad said that it's a cancer, because Chad was like, yo, did he hear what Aatrox got? And I said, I don't know. And they said he got glancer. And I said, what is that? And they're like a type of cancer. Because I had a heart rate monitor on because I was playing Resident Evil and I wanted to track the spikes, and I got scared. I had a higher heart rate when Chad told me that than during any scare in the game. It went from 80 to 110 when I read that it's a form of cancer because I got so scared. And it wasn't until Chad was like, Chad saw that my heart rate got 100.
What a good friend and what a bad chat. You cannot go around telling my friends I have glizzy hands cancer. They don't know the meme. He's legitimately scared that his friend has cancer. Which, by the way, what a fucking sweetheart. I love Linkus, bro. What a fucking good guy. You can't fake that, dude. His heart rate spiked. Yeah, it's fucked up. It's fucked up what you guys did. So shout outs to Linkus. Don't give Linkus a heart attack, bro. I remember when he did that Hitman speedrun and it hit like 160 and then his tongue froze up and he lost all blood to his tongue and he was talking like Arla. You guys remember that? That was so fucking crazy. He literally couldn't talk. He hit a 160. All right, so one more thing though. I forgot to mention that. So also during that stream from Linkus, by the way, great streamer, check him out. He sent me this, or he said this.
I would love, I'm not sure if you're okay with this, but I would love to return Hitman. I mean it. Like, don't get me wrong. Hardcore is fun and freelancer is fun, but I want to retire. I want to like unretire the horse. All right. I miss the good old days of Hitman horse. Build a stage in 30 minutes and then run it. I thought that was so fun. Hitman!
Dude, it cuts off. What a terrible cutoff. Oh, what a terrible cutoff. And I didn't even get to hear him say horse. Wait, I gotta listen to it.
I would love to return. Found that I kind of like. It's not an expensive horse. Build a stage in 30 minutes and then run it. I thought that was so Hitman horse.
Anyway, my response was, I'm sending this to a Spectacore like the fucking bat signal. So I did. I sent this fucking clip to a Spectacore. I'm trying to get the fucking squad together. So yeah, we'll do one this week, I think. I think we'll do it this week. That sounds hype. That's the Linkus. Love that game. By the way, speaking of a Spectacore, one more thing. Last thing, and then we go into wins and fails. So I think a Spectacore is one of the strangest humans I've ever met in my entire life. Just a truly brain-rotted Canadian child. And I was speaking to him on Discord, and he sent me the following message, all right? I'm trying to show it without showing anything else, so I'll just show this. Okay, here it is. He sent me this picture and said, I have damaged my brain irreparably. Now, try to tell me what's funny or interesting about this picture. Can anyone in chat guess? As far as I can tell, it is a picture of tortellini. He said, I have damaged my brain irreparably. I had no fucking idea what he's talking about. I literally studied this fucking thing. Couldn't figure it out. I couldn't figure it out. None of it made any sense to me. No, you don't get it. Everyone's saying I get it. They don't get it because it doesn't get. All right. So I'm thinking about it. I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? What the fuck is he talking about? So I respond to him and I go, I don't get it. He sends me this. I think it's a funny scene. I think if he had said desk pop, maybe I wouldn't have got it at the beginning. But to put a fucking best before, like it's not even 2008. It's fucking September 8th, which is different than what they say in the movie. It's fucking crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. That is such a reach. Okay, sorry, I've delayed for too long. Ladies and gentlemen, on that note, both Linkus and a Spectacore, insane, but we'll be doing Hitman Horse with them. On that note, I think it is time to jump in to to a segment of the show that we all know and love, but requires a certain specific action from those in the audience. And it's not a hard action, but it's an important one. And that is to look up at the screen, find which part of it identifies with you, and then shout me when that part exists. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Marketing Monday. Fuck. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Marketing Monday. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Marketing Monday. Welcome to Marketing Monday on July 31st, 2023. This is a part of the show called Wins and Fails. We go over all of the wins and fails in the last week of marketing and business. And guess what? Today, I am proud to say we have a return of the all-time, undisputed Marketing Monday GOAT. The GOAT of Marketing Monday. A person whose very jersey and name hangs in the rafters of this institution. A person this show was built on. I thought he was out of the game. I thought he was done, but he's back in a major way. Ladies and gentlemen, Sam Bankman-Fried is not down. He is not out. He is back in the news. Sam Bankman-Fried, you thought this guy was taken down when FTX imploded. He was arrested. He was extradited from the Bahamas to the United States, put under house arrest. The judge took away his laptop and his phone and gave him a flip phone. And still, this man is finding a way to get it done. Starting with intimidating witnesses. Let's go, baby. He is so back. Already, he's worried about his upcoming trial where his ex-girlfriend, Caroline Ellison, is set to testify against him on many counts of fraud. So, in response, he is calling journalists, threatening them, and also leaking her diary to try and paint a smear campaign against her, which means the feds are literally trying to put him back in jail because he cannot be trusted even with a flip phone. This is getting petty, all right? But if it was just that, I wouldn't say this guy's the all-time GOAT, all right? Because at the end of the day, intimidating witnesses, that's what you expect from him. This guy's a financial crime legend. This guy's the fucking Kobe of financial crime. What is he gonna do when he doesn't have a laptop? Well, it turns out, as of this morning, unconfirmed, but heavily researched, it looks like this morning, he rug pulled 100 million market cap shitcoin while on house arrest in his parents' basement. Now, this is not just from WSB chairman. This is from multiple websites that are confirming. There was a token called the Bald token. So I was very interested, right? Because I wanted to invest, understandably. And this morning, all of the Bald token liquidity was rug pulled in the morning, providing 100 million of profit to a certain crypto address, which is linked upon research, Alameda Research, which was the company that Sam Bankman-Fried ran. So it seems that he is directly tied to still doing what he's the GOAT at. This guy can't stop. And I have to give absolute credit. Yeah, I have no idea who. You know, it's like, I want to feel bad for the victims, but if you are putting money into Bald coin in 2023, the year of our Lord, it's almost like at some point you have to give SBF credit. That guy, like, let the man run. He does what he does. Fucking shark's gonna swim. Can't stop, won't stop. This is the flu game. That's flu game. So anyway, yeah, he's out here still making it happen, dude. And I have to give him all-time respect. Like, he'll never be back to where he was. He'll probably never get back to fucking $40 billion FTX. But he's doing what he can with what he has, and I have to respect that as someone who always loves making fun of financial crime. Now, speaking of big financial wins, let's talk about the top story of the past week or two in marketing and business. And that is, of course, movies you've already seen. Barbenheimer, baby. The marketing combination of Barbie and Oppenheimer has been an absolute smash success. Just to drive the point home, these two films are dramatically outperforming both their projections and what you'd expect from a similar type film, especially Oppenheimer, which is an R-rated 3-hour epic. It is the first R-rated film ever to make $10 million plus on all of its first 10 days out. It's crushing. Both these movies are absolutely crushing. And the unique marketing combo, which I believe is fan created, but leaned into a little bit by the studios, has been a massive success. People are seeing one or the other when they would have only seen one. Huge hit. And it's led to huge marketing opportunities for, like, for example, Barbie, which is leaned into it in a major way. Big win. But, you know, that's mostly well explored. Everyone seems to understand this did really well. I want to talk about what comes next, okay? What happens when films like this make so much money? And you've seen this as gamers, for example, when one zombie game does really well, suddenly there's a bunch of zombie games. So not only are we going to see more forced tie-ins like this, for the foreseeable future, but what we're really gonna see is a lot more movies like Barbie from Mattel. Now, Mattel is a struggling company. It is under financial pressure. Doll sales are down, toy sales are down, but this movie has been a hit, and it's proved the cultural resonance of their IP. So, given that their operating income has plummeted by $47 million, they're going all in on the movie strategy by greenlighting 45 new movies based on toy brands. 45! Mattel's cinematic universe is getting insane. I need to have... Presented without comment.
On his multi-armed form and says, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." Suppose we all thought that one way or another.
Yes, that's right. You saw an A24 type Barney movie. Surrealistic for adults. You saw a Polly Pocket movie from Lena Dunham Who Made Girls. It's like going to be an exact duplicate, I assume, of Barbie. You saw a grounded and gritty J.J. Abrams Hot Wheels movie. How grounded and gritty can it fucking be, bro? You're gonna see Lil Yachty developing an action heist movie based on the card game Uno. This is a real headline. The studios are desperate. They're desperate, bro. Hot Wheels isn't enough. They got a Matchbox car movie from Mattel. They're doing Matchbox and Hot Wheels at the same time. How are these? How different can they be? How different can they be, dude? And of course, that is just 4 or 5 of the 45 coming, including Wishbone, Magic 8 Ball, Viewmaster, American Girl. Viewmaster, those little things. Masters of the Universe, Major Matt Nelson, Thomas the Tank Engine, Rock'em Sock'em Robots. All of these are getting live action films as part of an all-in marketing and spending blitz from Mattel to get their toys back in the good graces of the viewing public and to build some sort of Mattel cinematic universe. Now, have I heard this idea before? Yes, million different bad ways. Have I heard this idea before for toys, though? Yes. Yes. This already happened in the 2010s when Hasbro tried it after G.I. Joe was a success, and it was a total flop. Does anyone have a memory of more than a goldfish in the fucking business world? I do not think this is going to work, but they're going to spend a bunch of money anyway. Remember the Battleship movie? Rihanna on a battleship fighting aliens for some reason. Oh God, dude, we're headed for a disaster. But the bigger story and the bigger win in the world of studios and Hollywood is that of the strikes by the Actors Guild and the Writers Guild. And I wanted to find out what was going on. I went to the greatest writer striker of all time, George R.R. Martin. A man who knew the strike was coming, so he set out on strike 10 years ago, okay? He has been in the trenches for far longer than the rest of us. And he seems to think this is going to be the longest and most bitter of all the strikes he's seen in his long career. And has suspended his own shows that he's worked on, including House of the Dragon Season 2, and believes that this strike is the most important of his lifetime, which is why he's been preparing for it for so long. And I give him great credit for that. And I looked into it. And so recently, the SAG-AFTRA, the Actors Guild, sent a list of demands, basically like rejected contracts. And if you read through, it was sent back with point-by-point notes and rejections by the studios, and it's insane the number of things they're rejecting. Basically, the entire contract looks like this, which is on the left, a list of like fairly reasonable demands, and on the right, it's like rejected, 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 we'll do it for half, rejected, rejected, rejected. Like, just for example, like union minimums, rest periods, protections for minors, rejected. Fairly calculate residuals, rejected. Require more specificity in the information provided in connection. So, like, just be like, give us actual concrete info on like how much our shows were viewed and like what we earned in residuals. Tentatively agreed to a whittled down version. It's like the only agreement. Rejected, rejected. Increase the penalties for not providing meal breaks. Rejected. The studios will not even agree to increase the penalty for if they don't provide the mandated meal breaks, which means they're planning to not provide the meal breaks. It's crazy. I mean, it's crazy. So, at this point, it's tough to say what's going on. But the main demands in this very long document are as follows. So the main one is this one, which I think it's getting a little cut off. Let me see if I can show it. It's new media revenue sharing. This is like probably the most important singular demand in the SAG-AFTRA demands, which is that actors and the cast can share in the revenue generated when their performances are exhibited on streaming platforms. Right now, if a movie or a TV show or whatever is put on streaming, they only get the upfront flat fee and nothing if the movie does well. There's no way to know how well it does. There's no way to get any residuals, nothing. There's no way to get any success if the show you write or act in does really well. And which is not the case for all of previous Hollywood. Like for previously, if movies were successful, you could make more money. You can't for it. And so the reason that studios really are not going to budge on this point is multifaceted. If you look into it, one of the main things seems to be not that they're afraid they'll have to pay a little bit more, but that they're afraid they'll have to release the streaming numbers. Because right now, every TV show and movie that is streamed on Netflix or Amazon Prime or HBO or whatever, they can hide how much it's viewed. And if it's a big success, they'll tell you, oh yeah, it was a big success. And if it's not, they don't have to tell you that. They do not want to release the real hard numbers. All of that data is hidden and is carefully manipulated. And you could see with a show like, for example, Amazon's Lord of the Rings, which was announced as having broken a great viewing record. It's breaking all records. The biggest premiere in the history of Prime Video. It's amazing. It was actually viewed by like 30, like most people didn't even finish the first fucking episode, let alone the show. It's actually pretty much a colossal flop. But if they have to release those numbers, it could be very bad for their stock. So a lot of these companies are much more concerned with projecting the image that everything is going well with their big high profile spending. And they are about actually paying the actors and writers. That's a smaller budget item than the keeping the narrative going to Wall Street that everything is going well. So, and also a second aspect of that is that the hard truth of it is Netflix might spend a lot of money to get like Martin Scorsese make The Irishman for Netflix, but The Irishman doesn't get viewed that much. So they spend a lot of money. It doesn't get viewed that much. It's fine. They get to hang out with the high profile, biggest directors. It's good for their image. They feel good. The thing is, if they spend, let's say $20 million getting Scorsese to do that film, and then someone else, a low budget director, makes The Kissing Booth 3, and this gets viewed like 40 times as much as The Irishman, that guy's gonna ask for a raise, and they don't want to give him a raise. The problem is all of this trash movies that get massive viewership on Netflix gets to make them for very cheap because they don't tell the directors and the actors behind it that it's doing very well. You can say, yeah, it's a trash movie, we'll pay you a little bit, and then go on. But actually, these movies crush. And people that make them deserve to get paid more because this is what the audiences want to watch. And so all of this is part of their secret plan to keep all of this stuff hidden so they can avoid paying what people are actually worth. And I think that's interesting. So who is going to help us win this fight? You know, I mean, this is a pretty important struggle. I think it has larger impacts for all of labor unions. It's very high profile. And I want to give credit where credit is due to one person and one iconic line.
That's what extreme mana.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson did step up. Oh, sorry. All right. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson did step up, bro. I have to give credit where credit is due. He jumped up and made the largest single donation they've ever received from anyone to the SAG-AFTRA strike support, which provides money for food, rent, and housing for all of the striking actors so they can keep the strike going longer so have a better chance of actually winning. And that's pretty cool. Even though I have to say, just to be fair for the reporting, it was recently released that he makes $1.7 million per Instagram post. So the amount of money he donated is something like, I don't know, 9 or 10 maybe Instagram posts, which is still, okay, it's still a huge amount of money. Don't get me wrong, but the amount of money he's making is so much that it's not as impactful. But we take those. By the way, these are the top 6 highest paid Instagram stars per post. Cristiano Ronaldo makes $2.4 million per sponsored post. That's insane. Selena Gomez, 1.7. Kylie Jenner, 1.8. Kim Kardashian, 1.6. Insane. Now, my other hope of winning was a big internet meme called Tree Law. Because as we discussed in a previous Marketing Monday, NBC Universal cut down all the trees where everyone was striking so that there would be no shade. And everyone got pissed and said, we're going to get you on Tree Law. It turns out Tree Law is a bit of a meme. Despite millions and millions of views on videos about tree law, they basically got him for a $250 fine for unpermitted tree trimming, which is not really going to take down NBC Universal. But every dollar counts, all right? One day. It adds up, baby. It adds up. That's a little bit of red on their balance sheet. So no success on tree law. But hopefully we see people that follow The Rock's lead. Again, there's many high-profile actors that have some money to spare, and hopefully they can make this strike last long enough to make it painful for the studios. And it already is looking like it is, okay? Because Sony and other big studios are pushing their big releases out a year, hoping to ride out this writers and actors strike because they cannot release movies like Craven and Spider-Verse Part 3 and other things, again, many other popular films, without the ability of the actors to promote them. It turns out that actors going on talk shows and going on podcasts and appearing in commercials and doing red carpets does a lot to help promote a film using social media. And when actors are striking for that, even films that are already done and in the can, like Craven, they're afraid to release because they won't get the buzz they need to make it worthwhile financially. They're pushing out films to 2024 to try and survive the strike. But if the strike is not over by early or mid 24, they're going to be out of options. I mean, they're going to have to release these films with less buzz and then have no additional films coming to back up on. So again, depending on how long the actor strike can last, it can put the studios in real pain, kind of force them to make a deal. Speaking of Sony, let's forget about Hollywood, bro. Holly weird, I call it. I want to get into an industry that we all care way more about. Video gaming. I'm done with Hollywood. I'm done with celebrities. Let's talk about video games, baby. But still related to Sony. So you guys remember we talked about the largest acquisition in tech history. Microsoft bought Activision Blizzard. And maybe I was a little bit questioning that would lead to more and more consolidation and monopolization in the gaming industry. And everyone said, nah, it'll be good. There will be no additional effects. Well, you were right. Except for this. See, Sony is trying to respond in kind by buying up more studios. Because that's the only thing they can do against the massive buyout by Microsoft. They have to do the same thing. It leads to an arms race where the only few small players buy up every single other player, and we have 1, 2, maybe 3, sort of an oligopoly situation. And Sony doesn't have the same amount of money that Microsoft does. So Sony is trying a different strategy. Right now they have a thing called Sony Financial Services, which I guess is like financing for TVs or some shit. I don't know. I mean, every company in Japan has like 19 different arms. This is not really big in the States, but they have Sony Financial Services, and they're going to spin it off. They're going to like spin it off to its own company, do an IPO, and basically use that to raise money. They're going to sell the financial services part of the company. And this will allow Sony to raise a whopping $8 billion. Now, compared to the $68 billion that Microsoft throws around for Activision Blizzard, it's not that much, all right? It's still broke. But $8 billion is a lot of money. They can't go after the big boys, aka Nintendo, $47 billion, EA for $35 billion, Roblox for $24, Bandai Namco is still out of reach, poor Omega Law, and Take-Two, which is Rockstar, you know, like GTA, Red Dead, etc. So these are out of reach. I don't think Sony has the financial resources to buy any of these. These are about 5 companies in the entire gaming industry that are out of reach. Everything else is very much in play. And I think if we look at this announcement and this number, we can start to do a little bit of research and make an educated guess as to who Sony might be targeting. I've narrowed it down to a list of about 5 or 4, okay? Number 1 is Square Enix. They work very closely with Sony, and they are worth about $5.7 billion. There's a very real chance that Sony, based in Japan, connections with Square Enix, could move in with their $8 billion and try to buy and acquire Square Enix. Next would be the Embracer Group. You guys probably don't know who they are. They're pretty hidden behind the scenes. The Embracer Group is like a Swedish gaming conglomerate that buys up indie studios and gaming IP. And they own things like Metro Exodus, Dead Island, Borderlands, Saints Row, Torchlight, but also like, I mean, hundreds or even thousands of little indie games. Embracer Group is very big, and they're about $5.1 billion. This would be an interesting get for Sony because it encompasses like 100 plus studios, very small indie studios. Next could be Ubisoft. And how the mighty have fallen. Because Ubisoft used to be a peer with EA, up here in the $35 billion. But over the past 15, 12 years, Ubisoft has fallen and shrunk and fallen and shrunk. And now Ubisoft is a $4 billion company with some great IP that Sony could be interested in scooping up for what is a affordable $4.1 billion. The problem is, my understanding is, Ubisoft is such a poorly run company and is spread out over so many different little studios all over the world that have all sorts of weird rules that they're getting laughed out of the room when they look for a buyer. Ubisoft earlier this year was actually looking out to find someone to buy them, and people are laughing them out of the room. People don't want to buy Ubisoft despite the great IP. It remains to be seen. Sony could have a plan to revitalize some of these well-known franchises. It could be interested in it. Next one is CD Projekt Red, aka the Cyberpunk and Witcher company. Now, they are also down in valuation from where they used to be. Again, pre-release of Cyberpunk, they were at like an all-time high. But they are still worth $4 billion and have, you know, a lot of great developers and credit. And it could be something Sony could be interested in picking up, but it seems pretty focused on a limited amount of IP. So I don't know if they'd go for that, but it's in their price range. And then finally, and perhaps most interestingly, is Japanese company Kadokawa, which is best known for owning FromSoft and a bunch of anime games, which again is worth $3.4 billion. There's a decent chance if Sony is looking for a thing that fits with their brand image of high polished AAA style games, it could lock down FromSoft and some of their other anime games. It's an interesting theory, and I'm putting it out there because when I looked into it, it doesn't seem completely far-fetched or off the table. It also fits with, they own Funimation and Crunchyroll, and there could be some kind of tie-in there. So I think I'm the first person to mention this, but I'm going to put it out there that Sony could be interested in acquiring Kadokawa on Marketing Monday. But that's the only update on Sony. They're not the only person to win. Let's give a... This is an oops all win edition, by the way. I want you guys to know I'm sick of doing fails, all right? Fails are negative and bad and make everyone go aware and sad. So I want to go for oops all wins today. And I want to give another win. Nintendo, which as far as I can tell, figured out how to fucking tap it in. As far as I can tell, Nintendo has figured out that all they have to do is release a Switch 2 that is still portable, exactly the same, and slightly stronger. Ideally, with backwards compatibility. Now, that doesn't seem too hard, but we all know Nintendo, and they always follow up a good console with a terrible one. There's a very real chance they're going to announce in January that the Nintendo Dildo is coming out that has no games, and you stick it in your ass, dude. I have no fucking idea what they're going to do, but, but hopefully, based on leaked dev kits that were released today, they're going to launch next year. They've already got studios working on games, and it's going to be similar to the last Switch. Again, increased storage. Now, the main bit of detail that is not yet confirmed is backwards compatibility. Nintendo wants to do it because it'll convert more Switch users. Basically, if the Switch 2 is backwards compatible, people are more likely to buy it. But all the third-party devs are worried because if the Switch 2 is backwards compatible, everyone's just going to buy Nintendo games on it again. They'll just buy Animal Crossing again, or they'll do, you know what I'm saying? And they're not going to buy any third-party games, which is something they're really scared about. So it's going to come down to this. I mean, the third-party devs are arguing they shouldn't be backwards compatible or it should be limited. Nintendo wants to do it. I don't know how they're going to resolve that situation. Probably they're going to do it. I think Nintendo has never really cared about third-party devs, and they're not going to start now. They're just going to keep making Nintendo games and selling them. So I don't know, but that's where it's at. So I'll give a win to Nintendo for that. I'm sorry. I lied. I lied when I said all wins. I have to give one fucking fail. I have to give one fail, and it is a serious one, so get ready. There's a few institutions in this great earth of ours I thought we could trust. You know what I'm saying? Few storied pillars of the community we can look to, we can salute, and we can say, when you speak, I trust you. And it pains me to say, it hurts me to say that one of them may have lied. Ladies and gentlemen, Taco Bell may be doing false advertising. Taco Bell, the ones we know and love, apparently might be overstating the amount of meat in a Crunchwrap and a Mexican pizza in their ads. And the video evidence is damning. On the left, you'll see the Crunchwrap Supreme advertisement. And on the right, you will see an actual Crunchwrap Supreme received by a customer. This is a class action lawsuit. On the left, a Grande Crunchwrap. On the right, an actual Grande Crunchwrap. And as much as I want to defend my corporate overlords at Taco Bell, who I love, have been buying from for many decades, ever since college, I have to say, 2 days ago, I bought a Crunchwrap Supreme, and I noticed it was pretty much like this on the right. It was pretty shitty. It actually was really fucking thin and it really sucked. I was actually kind of mauled. And so to find this out is powerful evidence, especially because fast food restaurants across the board have a lot of incentive to do exactly this right now. Right now, we're having this phenomenon called shrinkflation, where companies are afraid to raise their prices anymore because they've already skyrocketed. What they're doing is they're cutting the amount of food you get and trying to hide it. This is a huge thing happening right now, and the pressure for it is getting immense. So everything they can do to try and find a way to give you slightly less or reduce the quality, they're going to try to do. And yeah, I mean, the lawsuit, half the beef and filling than expected. He wouldn't have shelled out the money if he'd have known. That's the one thing in the lawsuit I disagree with, because I will tell you right now, if I'm craving Taco Bell, even if I know it's going to suck, I still buy it. Don't lie and say you were considering it. You know, you were like thinking about the math of it. You just buy it and then you got mad, which is still fine. Now, the goal of the lawsuit is to get Taco Bell to either pay people who bought the products, which I think they're going to be hesitant to do, or to get them to provide correct advertisements, which I think would be pretty depressing. Imagine seeing this on TV. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to play out, but I do hope this guy has some success because this is shady. All right. This is shady. Makes me angry as a Taco Bell consumer. And I'm also angry as a consumer of great shot highlight videos because, ladies and gentlemen, my next fail goes to FaZe Clan. All right. Now, everybody knows the story of FaZe Clan. They went public on the NASDAQ. They had all of their squad line up. They phased up. They looked amazingly happy. And then the stock went down 97%. And is now threatening to be delisted because you cannot be that low and still be on the NASDAQ. The stock has completely cratered. In fact, the stock did so bad, it caused people to pull out investment money to all esports. Basically, every esport is hurt because investors who thought they could make money in this industry realized they can't because FaZe went public and they can't dump it on the public. So they're pulling out. Now, this drop I found interesting also mirrors the drop in used Rolexes. I mean, the timing of it is like so exact. So I don't know if it's the same type of people, but it's like the lineup is crazy. But what I wanted to give I also thought that was interesting, but the actual fail here is that they're giving up, okay? Because I believe I'm a hodler, okay? I put all my net worth into FaZe holding, and I thought they're going to turn this around. They're going to skyrocket. It's going to go to the moon. It turns out they're thinking of giving up. As of a few days ago, FaZe Clan is eyeing 2 acquisition offers from GameSquare and Enthusiast Gaming, who are looking to just buy up FaZe for pennies in the dollar and be done with it. Which would mean the end of FaZe Clan as an independent entity forever. What about XQC? What about them? What are they even buying? The name. They get the name FaZe Clan for, I don't know. I mean, they valued it at $725 million, but I don't think they're going to get fraction of them. They'd be lucky if they broke 100. So that could be the end of FaZe. And I'd like everyone to phase up one last time. You know what I'm saying? Remember the fallen soldiers. FaZe Clan Dallas Cowboys. That sounds terrible. Elon should buy it and name it X Clan. It would be a better decision than he's made recently. Phase up for the rug pulls. Phase up for the rampant sexism. Phase up, okay? One last time. Before we leave this entire country behind and go the Far East. I'm feeling patriotic already. But let's have Beijing and segment about what's going on in China. And I have to say there's obviously been a sort of semi-new Cold War brewing in this multipolar world between the US and China. And a lot of it has been over technology, semiconductors, chips. But a new weapon has emerged. A new weapon has emerged in China's arsenal to take down the US. And I'm afraid for it. I'm afraid for all of us. Oh, wait. Wojaks. Because the Chinese embassy is officially using Wojaks on Twitter to make points about the United States. This is absolutely a cultural victory. We cannot stand up to this onslaught. We've been officially owned. This is from Zhang Heqing. Again, the U.S. GDP rate growth of 1.1% shows surprising vigor. But China's 6.3% growth rate is deemed a total disaster. No one knows the economy better than the Western media. Laughing face. Crazy eyes, laughing face. Holy shit, dude. Owned. We're getting owned. We're getting owned on Maine. Sir, the Chinese embassy officials are posting Wojaks in the state-sanctioned media reports. Bush, do something. They're going to own us by making us the beta Wojak. It's a problem. And this could be a problem for us, but there are some problems of China's of their own. Namely, I want to talk about the birth rate situation. I mentioned this after last week's Marketing Monday. I did a little post-show thing on demographics. But some new research has emerged. Basically, if you guys don't know, China, much like Japan and a lot of other countries, actually including Europe and including America, actually, is having declining birth rates, which means the population is getting older and older and not enough young people are being born. And eventually, we're going to fall off a demographic cliff. There's just not enough young people to support all the old people in the population. And this is coming up for China much more rapidly than it is for many other countries. China's facing a big problem. And they have very low birth rates, and they've been stuck there for a while. And a lot of people say, oh, this is because of the one-child policy or a lot of other things. But when you think about it, that doesn't make a lot of sense because Japan has even lower birth rates. They never had the one-child policy. And so looking into it more, a lot of research is showing that it's pretty obvious. People aren't having kids because they are pessimistic about, number one, their income, number two, their housing, and number three, their free time. If they are working themselves to death, not making enough money, and can't afford a house, they won't start a family. And this is happening all over the world to entire generations. So it's not just a Chinese problem, even though it's more pronounced there. They are having kind of a bursting real estate bubble and they have less median income. And I found this study, okay, that looked at Japan specifically, about a company in Japan named Itochu. Now, at one point, Itochu banned, they're a big company. They employ a lot of people in Japan. And at one point recently, they banned late night work. Immediately after that, there was a baby boom for employees of Itochu alone. Look at the green line. Once they banned late night work, there was an immediate skyrocketing in the birth rate. I mean, there's a direct connection. Itochu, I'm sorry. Between people that are forced to work like 996 hours or just not make enough money to keep up with cost of living, people that start families. And I'm thinking more and more about it. I also noticed that like, if you have a kid, you want them to be successful, right? You want them to be able to have a chance to do, to make more money than you did, to have good schooling and good success. And there's just ever increasing evidence, for example, that people getting into the top schools and having opportunities for success are people that are already wealthy. This graph shows that people that are in the top 0.1% are extremely likelier to be admitted in the top schools. This is based on same test scores. So everyone in this line has the same test score. It's only based on wealth. And people that are in like the middle to, middle lower classes are significantly less likely to make it into elite college admissions. There's just a direct link. This is a deep study by the MIT. And so, when you look at all this data that incomes are shrinking and opportunities are shrinking for people that aren't wealthy, and the ability to buy affordable housing, which is what used to start families, is shrinking. I start to see that this warning of pitchforks and torches may have some merit. Now, this is at a recent meeting at a 5-star London Savoy hotel of the global elite and super rich, which is probably not the best place to realize, oh yes, we should tackle inequality. But they did have a meeting of the global elite, and they seem to recognize that it's at least a problem. So I just want to say, I think this is a problem that's bigger than just China, and I think it's something that people of the world have to start figuring out, because the average person can't get squeezed for that long and be blamed for falling birth rates. I mean, it's just not their fault. It's a pretty rational decision based on how the cost of having a kid. And this is what I learned from this week in China. That and one more thing. They might be putting people in bear suits to fill the zoos. Unconfirmed, but there may be a guy wearing a bear suit to save money in a zoo. I'm not sure. This is unconfirmed. It's possible that sun bears just look like humans. I have no idea, but this video went viral today. This is probably the most important story coming out of China. But that, my friends, is Marketing Monday. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And tune in next week for even more wins and fails. See if we can watch the actual video of that. I want you guys to actually see. Sun bear human. Chinese zoo forced to deny bear is a human in costume. Is there a better? I don't have a good. Our sun bears are real, not humans in disguise. Oh man, it's all blocked. Somebody's got to have a good video of it. I think there was a good tweet out here. Maybe this will get. Oh, there we go. Nah, that's a bear, bro. That photo looks like it though. This photo is definitely like a dude in a frumpy bear costume. But when it's moving, you can tell. My man is stanced up. Yeah, he does have quite a stance. I'm impressed. I think it would be such an insane thing to fake that it can't be real, but it would have been so funny. By the way, if you're looking for a great business idea, a zoo where all of the animals are people in costumes would go viral instantly. You'd make fucking huge money. You'd actually make insane money until somebody dies of heat stroke, and then you would get shut down. But still, like a furry con, they make money too. Tell you that. Time is it? 9:41. All right, so we got a little bit of time. I'll answer any questions. Vibe. Let me turn on the air, and then we're gonna watch House MD. All right. Hulk mode on, dude. Hulk mode on. Anyway, that's what was going on. I thought the Mattel stuff was insane. 45 movies greenlit is so... I mean, just what are the odds they're not 80% flop? What is it with bro and eating the sloppiest slop? Why do you roll your jeans up so high? Because it's so fucking hot in here. Thank you for the subs, by the way. It's Panda, SPXS, Formity-2, Park B. Thank you for the 17 months. 17 months of no hoes, but at least I have a great idea for a zoo. There's only so much your streamer can do for you, okay? I can't give you hoes. Okay, what I can do is give you great zoo ideas. I'm trying my best. And if that zoo is a hit, you're set. Did you see the video of the guy presenting? Yeah, there's a guy who pretended to be like a fucking border collie. He's like $20,000. We're watching House today. I'm telling you right now, I'll watch Community. I don't have a fair warning. I haven't set everything up. I'm gonna watch House. I'll watch Community tomorrow. Why do we not watch Community anymore? I was saving it for the movie. The whole point, actually, isn't there an episode we skipped? We'll watch that one. We will watch the Community episode that we skipped. Because I want to watch season 6 as the lead up to the movie. That's my plan. That's the whole point. I wanted to like be ready to go whenever the movie comes out. But we're not watching that tonight. We're watching House. People are more likely to watch House. It's more fun. And I think, did you see the X sign Elon put on Twitter HQ got taken down? I saw he put it up. I didn't see it got taken down. Oh my God. What is this? Not the sign. This is such a bad... The photo is just the X logo and then a place where a sign would be. Get a photo of them taking it down or something. This is trash. It's like the viral photo of the guy where Amazon's like, provide photo evidence that the item didn't arrive. And it's him just holding an empty hand. Sony spent $3 billion on the guys who make Bungie. Yeah, that was before the $8 billion raise. That's an already done acquisition. But yes, they did acquire Bungie. H-Rock, do you think the Twitter X Lite was a cheap marketing stunt to get a bunch of negative news articles out of it? I don't think he thought through it that much. Yeah, it's one of many dumb things, bro. It doesn't help or hurt that much. It's not that big a deal. It's like something that's forgotten in a week. Changing the whole name, that's a bigger deal. Genuine marketing question I've been thinking about recently. If two companies do a collaboration, but one company's product is larger, how would revenue be split between them? Take, for example, Chips Ahoy and Reese's. Given that company B is a contributor to company A, both companies split revenue evenly? It's incredibly specific. It would depend on the two companies and how much they're contributing. But yeah, it's going to be a deal they both agree to. There's no rule for it, that's what you're wondering. They don't just do the fucking collab rule and split it 50-50. They just split based on how much they contribute. The bro's a lawyer negotiating a deal right now and he's in over his head. The dude's got the recent CEO breathing down his neck to get those numbers in. And he's like, I don't fucking know, bro. I don't know what the fucking split. Do you know that the iPhone... Wait, on the iPhones, the app is still named Twitter? Oh, yeah, because the App Store requires all apps to be at least 2 letters long. You can't have a 1-letter app. So it's still called Twitter on the iPhone, on the Apple App Store. Because they have to figure out what to do. It's gonna be fucking XX or something, dude. Or X underscore. It's gonna be something fucking stupid. Or they'll probably find a way to get that big enough. Can Sony acquire Capcom? Yes. Yeah. Capcom's a $1.8 billion company. They could do it. No, wait, I'm sorry. They're actually an $11 billion company. They're actually out of the range. I'm sorry, they couldn't. They're an $11 billion company. They are just out of the range. I converted from euro into USD instead of Japanese yen into USD. Couldn't do it. I mean, maybe they could reach for it, but I think based on the numbers they're looking at, I mean, Sony's already in debt. I don't know if you guys know, but Sony already has Sony has $30 billion of debt on their balance sheet. They don't want to take on too much more debt, dude. Sony needs to buy Apple. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. Sony needs to just convince Tim Cook to sell for 1/10,000th of what the company is worth. And all of a sudden, Sony will be a bigger player. Would it be more likely for Sony to get a few smaller companies or just one big one? Well, Sony generally already buys a lot of small companies. Sony's previous strategy was to buy smaller studios and try to lever them up to make a big AAA game. And they've done that pretty well. It's been a good thing for them. But it's not big enough to compete with, massive studio acquisition by Xbox. Like, just a $70 billion buyout is something you have to respond to. And so they're going to try and buy somebody big. I think that the shareholders will demand a big response. Why would you include Nintendo being acquired by someone? That shit would be shot down in courts frame one. The courts don't understand shit. The courts don't understand shit. As evidenced by the fucking last trial, the judge doesn't know what the fuck's going on. They don't know the difference between Nintendo or anyone else. And if the right company came along and had the right pitch, I would never ballpark it out. I would never say frame one shot down. Sony couldn't do it, realistically, but Apple could. If Sony takes out a big loan and buys Microsoft and declares bankruptcy on the loan, they just get Microsoft for free. Why is nobody talking about this? Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Just get a $2 trillion loan. There's no bank on earth big enough, except for the Federal Reserve. You'd need to get Joe Biden's approval. But if Biden's down, you could get a big enough loan to buy Microsoft, then do a little bankruptcy gambit. How important is the gaming divisions of Microsoft and Sony? In Microsoft, not very. Microsoft is a company that has a monopoly on office productivity software. It makes absolute racks of money from every business in the world, which pay these big per user fees to have access to Word, PowerPoint, Microsoft Teams, etc. They make that's a huge amount of money. And government, government and corporation. They all pay huge money yearly for subscriptions to that thing per user. That's where they make a lot of their money. That's where a lot of their value comes from. Gaming is a very small part of that, and they can just throw money at it. For Sony, it's a very huge part. The best performing division of Sony by far has been PlayStation. It's where the hopes of the company's future are on. They care about it very deep. I work at a Sony gaming studio, and it's ironic we use Microsoft Office. It's not ironic. It's just that they have monopoly. You know what I'm saying? It's like Spotify is like, it's ironic we have to sell our product on the App Store, which has a direct competitor, Apple Music. It's not ironic. Just that you have to do it because they have there's no competitor. It's expected. Everyone does it. Oppenheimer Breaking Bad edit.
Let's go recruit some scientists.
Oppenheimer did not build the bomb.
Let's go recruit some scientists.
Only the best and brightest.
We've got one hope. All America's industrial might and scientific innovation connected here. Secret laboratory.
What are we building? The only thing that can defeat the Nazis. A robot.
This is a matter of life and death.
You need to cut out all your loser crybaby crap right now and think of something scientific.
You're the great improviser, but this...
Nuts and bolts and screws and whatever little pieces of metal we can think of that is galvanized. It has to be galvanized or solid zinc.
Holy shit, he did it.
Our plan had nothing to do with Hiroshima. All we saw was a burst of light. For all we know, it could have been a lightning strike, a natural cause.
Whoa! Damn, man, look at that, look! Yeah, science!
The Breaking Bad edits are undefeated. I don't know why they go so hard and spend so much time on it, but it worked. There is a scene in Oppenheimer where he's talking to Heisenberg about his ranch in New Mexico, which is very clearly a Breaking Bad reference, okay? Not historical fact. Ukraine update. There's a man living in Sumy has been hiding in an abandoned Russian T-80 main battle tank in his yard ever since the Russians retreated from Kiev. The man wanted to keep the tank as his war souvenir. You should be allowed to do that. If Russians drive a tank through your yard and then leave, finders keepers, bro. You get to keep that tank. Anything else? We got 5 minutes till we watch House. Is there anything else worth talking or any questions? New strike. Oh yeah, I heard about this. Ari saw this when she was at Comic-Con. A lot of the hotels at Comic-Con were having problems because people were flooding in for Comic-Con, but there was a hotel worker strike. I don't know how it played out. I guess it's still alive. Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of labor movements going on across the country. Did you see what? Any idea when you're gonna try Jedi Survivor again? Probably not anytime soon. It ran so badly on PC. Maybe if it's better, but what is this? Pop Crave. The fucking Arrow actor doesn't support the strikes.
Yeah, so I feel like I'm insulated in Hollywood because that's where I live. I truly live in Hollywood. Like all the stereotypes that exist. So I feel like a lot of people in this room aren't aware of the strike. I support my union. I do, and I stand with them.
Okay.
I do not support striking. Don't. I think that it is a reductive negotiating tactic.
Okay. Bro, you don't have a lot of options, okay, when you're a union and you're dealing with employer. You know, you ask for things, and if they don't give it to you, you have to do something. You have to have some threat behind it. You understand how it works? If they realize that you're never going to strike, they'll just say no to everything. That's how it works. All right. So understand that I don't know how reductive you think it is, but if you don't strike, there's no threat. It's an empty threat.
And I find the entire thing incredibly frustrating, and I think that the thinking as it pertains to shows like the show that I'm on that premiered last night, I think that is I think that it is I think it's myopic.
He's also doing a promo. The one thing is, I think he just wants to promo his show, dude. This motherfucker just wants to promo his fucking show and is mad that he can't. And he's sneaking it in to this separate interview. You stupid fuck. Yeah, you know, I think strikes are great if you do them 3 months after I'm done doing press for my show and I get to talk about it and go to red carpets. It's funny to end the clip with the obvious reason why you think that. Like, at least make me search for it to find out your show came out yesterday. I'll just say it in the middle. The top comment is, he's coming. Ron Perlman's gonna beat your ass, dude. You better fucking watch out. Who is this? Just around Arrow. Green Arrow is super pro-union. Him taking this stance is ironic as hell. Green Arrow, the Marvel superhero, or is it DC? Is pro-union canonically? I'm searching. Okay, I looked at the Wikipedia article for Green Arrow and I searched for union and saw nothing. I don't think this guy has been written as being canonically pro-union. I think he's written to look like fucking Robin Hood. Search for labor. Okay, labor. I can't spell it. Nothing. He is? All right, I trust you. Does this guy play Green Arrow? Like he's living. Search for billionaire? Billionaire. He's a billionaire. I'm sorry, he's a billionaire? How fucking pro-union could he be, bro? He's a playboy billionaire turned vigilante. It does say billionaire turned communist. But that's only from one comic. Interesting. Very Batman-esque. I never saw Batman as a particularly pro-union kind of guy. How much do you think Wayne Enterprises pays? Do you think Wayne Enterprises has a good healthcare plan? Probably fine. Minimum wage, no benefits. Yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't know if I trust it. I think if Batman cut back on his fucking 4th tank he built that year and just gave his employees better benefits, might, spark a rise in wages in all the Gotham area, which would reduce crime on its own. That might be less fun for him. All right, 10 o'clock. We're going to watch House. Alfred's an unpaid intern for fucking 50 years. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've been watching a show called House MD on this channel. House MD's nuts. We are currently in season 3. It's a very funny show to watch with chat because it is, it's an entertaining show on its own, but when you realize it's written in 2006, it has aged in a very hilarious way. So we're watching it, having fun, making fun of it, having a good time. And we are currently on, no, not before 9/11 because it's 2006. We are on season 3, episode 8, Whack-A-Mole. which should be pretty funny. The last one we watched, K Sarah Sarah, was amazing. That was a very interesting, funny. Bite the Fact, House is crazy. It's a great show. It's a show I like very much. I like House. I liked it back when it came out. I like watching it now, rewatching it with chat. But it still has some parts that are very funny and comical. And it reminds me of Batman Beyond. When I rewatched Batman Beyond, I hadn't seen it since I was a kid, and it was very funny to watch with chat because I could make fun of it a lot, but I still enjoyed it. And I had so that's what I'm doing. That's why I like watching. Season 3, episode 8, Whack-A-Mole. I'm gonna get some snackies. Some snackies and a drink. You should do the same if you'd like to watch House along with us. I'm gonna hit the lights. So snacky snack time right now. I'm gonna play that fucking rap song.